This is a world of ghosts and monsters. Here, humans can unleash the potential of the soul to awaken various kinds of special powers. They are strong enough to slay demons and destroy everything. This awakening of the human race is called the awakening of physical strength. One night, amid heavy rain and lightning, on various skyscrapers, some screens reported about a man driving a hearse killing a melon seller on the side of the road. A shirtless, blue-haired man in a dumpster screams that this world is too crazy. The person who had just woken up from the trash was Lin. He admits his hair may be messy, but his head is not. Another person who crossed into another world was invincible at the start of the game. But he was different. He was just an ordinary person with no talent. Only trash will be killed and thrown here and there. But he had not expected to cross the world in such a disgraceful manner. He was determined that if he found the killer, he would make sure to kill him in the cruelest way possible. Suddenly, Lin Xiao heard something sound. He saw a man peeing on the wall. Noticing Lin's presence, the man cracked his neck and shot Lin Xiao a terrifying look. Lin Xiao was immediately frightened seeing his terrifying face. The man also lunged at Tang Ling Xiao and was about to pounce on him. The monster then opened its mouth and invited Lin Xiao to enter its mouth. Lin Xiaoyang was frightened and screamed for help. Immediately afterward, a large pair of scissors was thrown and cut the monster's neck. Lin Xiao was shocked to see what had just happened. The dead monster then turned into smoke. After taking back her scissors, a beautiful woman came and greeted Lin. Having been saved, Lin Xiao was grateful to him. The woman then approached Lin Xiao and asked if she was pretty. Without thinking twice, Tang Ling Xiao replied that he was the best. The woman then showed her monster figure and asked if she was still beautiful. Lin Xiaoshok saw that. He thought she was a beautiful hero who had come to save him. He even almost fell in love. The tear-mouthed woman then clung to Lin Xiao and asked him to quickly answer her, then licked Lin's cheek. Even though he felt that he was in danger, he who was being slapped by the slit-mouthed woman felt that this was amazing. But living in the moment, living is all that matters. If he said beautiful, then he would open his mouth. And if he said he wasn't attractive, he was sure this woman would kill him right away. He was so confused about how to choose it. As Lin Xiao didn't answer, the tear-mouthed woman called out her scissors again and intended to make Lin Xiao speak. Lin Xiao also thought that it was over and begged someone to save him. Not long after, a system appeared and detected that the host was in danger. The divine system has finally connected. Lin Xiao didn't understand what was happening because time stopped and he couldn't move his body. Then, in front of him appears 3 choices and he has a time limit of 5 seconds. The first choice, run away, but will be chased by the tear-mouthed woman. The mission reward is reinforcement pills. Option 2, kneel and beg for mercy. The tear-mouthed woman would make another wish. The mission reward is a cleansing pill. Option 3, if he was going to die under the lips of a beautiful woman, then he could simply kiss her. The mission reward is an SSS rank supernatural ability pack. Looking at the options before him, Lin Xiao thought that this might just be the legendary system. Seeing the third choice's reward, Lin Xiao thoughtlessly chose the third choice. He also grabbed the shoulder of the tear-mouthed woman and pulled her to kiss him. The tear-mouthed woman who was being kissed didn't understand why Lin Xiao was doing this to her. The kiss from Lin Xiao finally ended. The torn-mouthed woman also said that she was no longer pure. Seeing the tear-mouthed woman's expression, Lin Xiao thought that he didn't expect her to be this cute. He now convinced himself that when he met a female monster, he had to use his love to convince her. The tear-mouthed woman then separated herself from Lin Xiao and was about to leave. But before he left, the slit-mouthed woman introduced herself as Hong Ye and said that she would come back. Hong Ye finally left and disappeared from Lin's sight. A moment later, the system confirmed that Lin Xiao had completed the mission, and an SSS rank supernatural power would be randomly selected. So to receive the reward, the system asked Lin Xiao to chant a draw spell, hitting the darkness with lightning. Lin Xiao also asked who would shout such embarrassing dialogues, but he decided to forget about it because he had just kissed a stranger but was still afraid of embarrassment. With full confidence, Lin Xiao chanted his raffle spell. Soon after, a creature appeared in the sky and flashed lightning at Lin. Lin Xiaoyang was shocked by the lightning and screamed in pain. People who were not far from that place also witnessed the incident. One of them, wearing high heels, recognized that it was a heavenly thunderstorm. The woman did not expect that someone would awaken a special power of S rank or higher rank, because there was only one man in Changlan City who had surpassed S class. He wondered who this person was, but he suspected that it might be a descendant of that man. After the creature disappeared into the air, Lin Xiao finally stopped being struck by the lightning. The system congratulated Lin Xiao on obtaining the SSS class ability, Qi Yu. The system explains that the host's strength is very weak, so the SSS class ability, Qi Yu, can complement the host's strength and can open other locked parts. Based on the memories from this body, Lin Xiao remembered that the general strength limit of this world was the S class, and he had succeeded in awakening the SSS class. Lin Xiao was excited because he was about to become invincible. Lin Xiao laughed because he was so excited. With the strength of this SSS rank, he was certain that in a short time he would become a big player and rise to the pinnacle of life. He can't wait to spend his life easily. However, the system suddenly reported that it detected a large horde of ghosts and monsters around the host, and requested Lin Xiao to evacuate as soon as possible. Feeling a bad breath, Lin Xiao started to run away because he didn't have the strength to fight against him. Lin Xiao drove for half an hour and finally found his way home. Seeing his house, he did not expect that his house was so luxurious. He felt a little nervous because it was the first time he entered a house this big. When he opened the door of his house, he saw his sister waiting for him. He asked why his sister came home so late. Lin Xiao was surprised because he almost forgot that he had a cute sister named Lin Shi. Seeing her brother covered in bruises, a worried Lin Shi asked what happened to him. Lin Xiao also reasoned that it was raining and the road was a little slippery, so he accidentally slipped. Lin Shi then said that she made ginger soup and asked him to drink it. Lin Xiao was happy because he had such a good little brother. As far as Lin Xiao remembered, he was adopted by the Lin family when he was young. After his foster parents died, he lived with his sisters, Lin Hua and Lin Shi. They are both very talented and blessed by God, and Lin Xiao is the only loser who is always insulted. 3 years ago, Lin Hua was selected to join the special division because of his perfect qualifications. Due to his busy schedule, he rarely came home, so Lin Xiao was the one who had to take care of their little brother. But the original owner of this body was very stubborn and couldn't even take care of his own body and was indifferent to his sister. While drinking the soup, Lin Xiao thought that the owner of this body didn't know how to be grateful. Not long after, someone shouted for Lin Xiao and told Lin Xiao to come out, making Lin Xiao spit out the soup. He was so annoyed that he almost choked to death. The one who screamed and broke in was a girl. According to his memories, that girl was Chu Junyao, his childhood friend, and she had also appeared in a women's magazine. He also asked what Chu Junyao was doing here. Chu Junyao then scolded Lin Xiao because this morning Lin Xiao confessed his love to her in front of the class with a loudspeaker. Because he felt tainted, Chu Junyao demanded that Lin Xiao give him an answer. Hearing that, Lin Xiao also remembered that after he confessed his love to Chu Junyao, he was killed around the school. He wondered if these two incidents might be related, but right now the most important thing is to take care of Chu Junyao. He then said that he was only joking because he didn't dare to like a ferocious tiger like him. He didn't even dare to accept it for fear that Chu Junyao might finish him off at any moment. Hearing that, Chu Junyao was annoyed and kicked at Lin Xiao. But Lin Xiao dodged his kick and peeked at Chu Junyao's underwear. Lin Xiao looked very happy to see him. Chu Junyao scolded Lin Xiao and called him a pervert for peeping on him. Lin Xiao reasoned that he had no intention of doing so, and asked whether Chu Junyao didn't feel guilty after making an innocent child like him see that. Feeling disgusted with Lin Xiao, Chu Junyao intended to beat up Lin Xiao and told Lin Xiao to watch his mouth. But Lin Shi arrived to protect Lin Xiao and asked Chu Junyao to stay away from her brother. Not wanting to talk to a child, Chu Junyao stopped himself. He then warned Lin Xiao that tomorrow was the school's special ability testing day. Only those who can awaken a C rank or higher rank can enter Changlan Academy. And he told that he had awakened the strength of rank A, so he will be sent to Changlan Academy and have a bright future. Meanwhile, Chu Junyao believed that in this life it would be impossible for Lin Xiao to follow in his footsteps. So he suggested that Lin Xiao enter a Tier 3 university and become a commoner at the bottom of society. Hearing that, he thought that he had awakened an SSS rank special power. Raji can't be an ordinary person. Shortly thereafter, a task from the system appeared. He had to choose between not answering, apologizing to Chu Junyao and agreeing with him, and talking back to Chu Junyao and vowing not to acknowledge his strength. Even though the second choice's prize was much more profitable, Lin Xiao refused it. He decided to choose the third option. He also told Chu Junyao that not only would he continue walking the spiritual path, but he would also enter Changlan Academy with his strength. After saying that, Lin Xiao felt that he was cool. Hearing Lin Xiao's statement, Chu Junyao only laughed and said that everyone can brag. Lin Xiao, who saw Chu Junyao walking away, said that Chu Junyao would regret it sooner or later. Lin Shi also encouraged Lin Xiao and said that he must be able to awaken spiritual power. In the middle of the night, while Lin Xiao was in a deep sleep, Hong Ye finally managed to find Lin Xiao. He also demanded that Lin Xiao be responsible for the rest of his life for taking his first kiss for granted. Morning had come, and Lin Xiao was panicking because he would be late. Seeing his brother leaving, Hong Ye wished his brother good luck. Lin Shi believed that her brother was the best and would not let her sister down. Lin Xiao, who was running in a hurry, was exhausted and felt like his kidneys were going to die. Not only that, last night he dreamed of sleeping with Hong Ye. He felt weird because it seemed like it was really happening. Lin Xiao had finally arrived at Changlan High School. Inside the conference hall, Chu Junyao wondered why no one was in position yet. A moment later, an announcement appeared asking the examinees to line up in order to take the exam. Seeing the students making a fuss, Chu Junyao said that they were the worst of the other sessions. On the other hand, Lin Xiao narrowed his eyes on the crowd and asked the person in front of him if this was the evacuation location. That person got annoyed and told Lin Xiao to be quiet. But he was shocked because the person he saw should have died. So he asked what Lin Xiao was doing here. According to his memories, he was Yang Yi. And because Yang Yi liked Chu Junyao, the two of them were enemies. So Lin Xiao suspects that it was Yang Yi who sent someone to kill him earlier and decides not to let him go. The spiritual ability test has finally begun. An examiner explains that this exam will determine their future, and only students with rank C or above have a chance to enter Changlan Academy. He then called the first participant named Zhao Ming. He got nervous because he was the first to be called. Nervously, he checked his aptitude. He also stocks up when he discovers that his ability is a rank F frying pan. Then, many other participants failed, such as getting the ability of food sticks and toilet paper. The other participants who witnessed that laughed at them. A moment later, it was finally Yang Yi's turn. After examining his abilities, it was found that his ability was that of an A-rank ability, the Wolf Ghost. Chu Junyao didn't expect that Yang Yi could increase his strength to this extent and awaken a great ability. Next was Lin Xiao's turn to catch Chu Junyao's attention. Lin Xiao confidently walked towards his test site. The other students laughed at Lin Xiao for having that much courage. There were even those who bet that he would eat dog excrement if Lin Xiao awakened his powers. Yang Yi was sure that Lin Xiao would only embarrass him himself. Seeing everyone laugh at Lin Xiao when they saw him, he was sure this must be because he was too handsome. So he bowed his head. But the examiner told Lin Xiao that his pants were open, making him feel embarrassed. With an embarrassing pose, Lin Xiao touched the crystal ball. Everyone present was astonished. Lin Xiao, who believed himself to be the greatest, was boasting even though the screen behind him showed that he had FFF rank ability. The examiner also noted that Lin Xiao's ability Lin Xiao was disabled, or he was discovered. Lin Xiao was confused by what happened. The other students laughed at Lin Xiao, who had come to humiliate him. Yang Yi, who witnessed that, laughed and said that it was a suitable choice for someone without ability. Lin Xiao didn't understand, and was sure that something must be wrong. But suddenly, someone appeared behind him. He realized that she was Hong Ye, the female ghost. Hong Ye said he was here to help Lin Xiao. A moment later, people noticed Lin Xiao's rising potential on the screen. The examiner was shocked to see that his last measurement was a potential S rank. Chu Junyao, who witnessed it, thought that it wasn't bad, and Yang Yi didn't understand how it could be. In the end, even though Lin Xiao's strength was FFF rank, he had S-grade potential. So the examiners decided that Lin Xiao passed. Lin Xiao was also happy with this result. At 10 minutes after waiting for the second exam, Yang Yi approached Lin Xiao and said that trash was trash, even though it had such high potential. Hearing that, Lin Xiao laughed and asked if he was jealous of her potential. Yang Yi was offended and grabbed Lin Xiao by the collar. He challenged Lin Xiao to fight him. Immediately after being challenged by Yang Yi, the system gave 3 choices. Put on a calm expression full of confidence, then ignore Yang Yi, fulfill Yang Yi's request, and face Yang Yi and solve true love's grudge. Without thinking, Lin Xiao chose the second option and punched Yang Yi in the face. Since everyone knew who was asking for a fight, Lin Xiao didn't feel afraid at all. Yang Yi was angry because even his father had never hit him. Soon someone stopped their fight. A woman who stops fighting, they say that the second-level practice exam will start soon. So he asked the disciple who had passed the awakening ability. Seeing the snake symbol on the sleeve of his jacket, Lin Xiao was sure that the woman was from Changlan Academy. While on the way to the second exam venue, the previous lady introduced herself as Su Jiang, a first-year student at Changlan Academy, and their examiner. He says that the second level of the practice exam is very important. Those who passed would directly be able to enter Changlan Academy and become official disciples. Lin Xiao, who was staring at Su Jiang's body lasciviously, thought that Su Jiang's body was steady. But he was caught by Su Jiang making him look at Lin Xiao like he saw something very disgusting. Suddenly, the bus driver was surprised because there was a bunch of bats coming from inside the tunnel. The bats then hit the windshield of the bus, causing the bus driver to panic and lose his balance on the bus. Lin Xiao bumped his head because of that. He then got out of the bus and asked why they could overturn. Upon seeing the bats charging at them, Lin Xiao didn't understand where these strange bats had come from. But seeing Su Jiang's reaction asking what was going on made Lin Xiao think that Su Jiang didn't know anything. Su Jiang then asked everyone to get rid of these monsters. Watching them starting to fight, Lin Xiao felt something was wrong. Amidst this chaos, Yang Yi seized the opportunity to finish off Lin Xiao. Not far from them, a single bat shot up to attack them. Yang Yi caught it and threw it to Lin Xiao, but Lin Xiao kicked the bat back. With his claws, Yang Yi tore the bat apart and said that he would not let go of Lin Xiao. Soon enough, Su Jiang finished off the rest of the bats, and they finally won. Yang Yi immediately changed his attitude and said that he had just warmed up. A moment later, there was an earthquake. Suddenly, chains appeared from the ground and tied everyone up. The female student who was caught screamed for help because she couldn't hold it in. It wasn't long before someone came riding a motorcycle. Lin Xiao could feel an extremely strong ghost scent from the man. The man then got off the motorbike and was happy because one of the prey looked good. He approached the girl and asked her to play a tongue game. Seeing his woman being touched by the man, one of the students shouted at him not to touch his woman. The man approached the student and intended to play with him, but Su Jiang broke the chains that bound him and told the man to stop. Lin Xiao asked Su Jiang to let him go as well, but Su Jiang ignored him and ran straight to the man. However, Su Jiang was easily beaten by the man with his chain. Su Jiang was sent flying towards Lin Xiao. After capturing Su Jiang, Lin Xiao was excited as this was his chance to shine as a hero. Immediately afterward, the system gave 3 choices. The first choice, take Su Jiang with him, and then run away from this incident. The second option, kneel and beg the demon Ling Qi to let go of the others. The third option, kill the demon Ling Qi and save everyone. Of course, Lin Xiao chose the third option. With confidence, Lin Xiao told them to leave all of this to him and jumped at Ling Che. They estimated that Ling Che was a B-rank ghost beast, so they weren't sure if Lin Xiao could beat him. With his fists, Lin Xiao tried to beat Ling Che, but as everyone expected, Ling Che easily beat Lin Xiao with his chain, making everyone dumbfounded by Lin Xiao's stupidity and wondering what he was doing. As he was being blown away, Lin Xiao could see Hong Ye in front of him. Hong Ye, who realized the problem, told him that Lin Xiao needed to focus and gather the spiritual power in his body and directed it into his right arm. After understanding what he had to do, Lin Xiao felt fortunate that Hong Ye was here. Lin Xiao was too close to Lin Xiao, so Lin Xiao misunderstood and tried to kiss Hong Ye. But Hong Ye scolded him and changed his face to his monster form, then told Lin Xiao to hurry up and fight. Lin Xiao was very surprised that Hong Ye could change his face so quickly. Before long, Lin Xiao finally came to his senses. The other students shouted for Lin Xiao and told him to let them go. Lin Xiao stood up again and intended to be serious. But the other students didn't believe him at all. Ling Che became interested and attacked Lin Xiao with his chain. Su Jiang was worried about Lin Xiao, and Yang Yi was sure that Lin Xiao would die this time. But Lin Xiao was able to catch the chain easily. Ling Che was shocked by the aftermath. Lin Xiao then pulled on the chain. He intended to end all of this and swing Ling Che against a rock. Those who were watching wondered why Lin Xiao suddenly became strong. Ling Che got back to his feet and became even more excited because Lin Xiao could hurt him. He also got on his motorcycle and was about to crash into Lin Xiao. Lin Xiao barely managed to avoid the motorbike. Ling Che then threw the chain, but Su Jiang was able to overcome the chain. Yang Yi was getting irritated with Su Jiang, but he suddenly felt something behind him. Lin Xiao actually got on his motorbike and hugged him. Using the opportunity, Su Jiang slashed at Ling Che's motorbike and attacked him. As his body's spiritual power was nearly depleted, Ling Che, who felt cornered rather than fight to the death, he chose to die with them. Realizing what Ling Che was trying to do, Su Jiang pushed Lin Xiao to save him. Lin Xiao became worried about Su Jiang. Witnessing the huge explosion that occurred, the other students were worried because Lin Xiao and Su Jiang were still inside. A moment later, from within the smoke that was caused by the explosion, Lin Xiao walked out while carrying Su Jiang in his arms. Because Su Jiang's chest hurt, Lin Xiao volunteered to massage it. Of course, Su Jiang refused and called Lin Xiao a pervert. Not long after, the female students started to surround Lin Xiao and praise him for being so strong. Yang Yi didn't understand where Lin Xiao got all that power from. Amidst all this, the system notified that Lin Xiao had obtained a fragment of supernatural power as a task reward. Lin Xiao was happy because he could slowly unlock the power of his supernatural ability. But he thinks that he should stay humble because he wants to be a cool guy in the future. Immediately after that, the other disciples noticed something flying towards them. A drone announced that this was the end of the second-level practice exam. The others thought that the attack had been premeditated. The drone then informs that the second-level test is actually a practice exam with unexpected events, and their performance has all been recorded by a nearby camera. In this way, the students who showed their best abilities would become students of Changlan Academy. Su Jiang becomes angry with them because no one told him beforehand, even though he is their tester. They also reasoned that the academy was doing this for the sake of the authenticity of the exam. The drone then announced that the best candidate for this exam was Lin Xiao. Lin Xiao immediately acted arrogant because of it. The other students picked up Lin Xiao and threw him in the air to celebrate. Su Jiang, who witnessed this, thought that Lin Xiao had extraordinary potential hidden within his body. With Lin Xiao, Su Jiang believed that the future of Changlan Academy would undergo great changes. Lin Xiao finally returned home. Lin Shi greeted him and asked if Lin Xiao had passed the test. While stroking his younger brother's head, Lin Xiao told him that he had successfully passed his exam. Lin Shi was happy about it, but she felt a little sad that Lin Xiao had to leave home and stay at school. Believing that her brother was tired, Lin Shi told Lin Xiao to rest while she prepared dinner and reminded Lin Xiao to tell Lin Hua about this good news. Lin Xiao also thanked Lin Shi. As soon as he arrived at his room, Lin Xiao immediately contacted Lin Hua and told him that he had passed his exam. Lin Hua also praised him, but since he had things to finish, Lin Hua said that he should go first. Lin Xiao then lay down on his bed. He thought that Lin Hua was really mysterious, and he didn't know when he would be able to meet him in person. Soon, Lin Xiao felt that his head was very heavy and thought that Hong Ye had come again. And sure enough, Hong Ye arrived and asked if Lin Xiao had missed him. Hong Ye then said that he needed Lin Xiao. He could teach Lin Xiao to improve his strength, but he asked Lin Xiao to promise her one thing. When asked Lin Xiao what it was, with a seductive face, Hong Ye asked Lin Xiao to marry him in the underworld. Hong Ye asked Lin Xiao to marry him. He told her that he and Lin Xiao were going to sign a soul contract for the marriage of the underworld. But Lin Xiao didn't understand because he was a human, so he didn't know how he could marry Hong Ye. But Hong Ye didn't care at all and said that he couldn't wait anymore. He then directly performed Lin Xiao's blood contract. Lin Xiao also screamed in pain. A moment later, the binding with blood as the medium was completed. Lin Xiao felt that his head hurt. 10 years ago, the devil god descended into the world and the blood was taken from the same person. Mi Kui was defeated, and 10 years later, he was reborn in the world. Lin Xiao, who witnessed this, thought that it must be the memory of Hong Ye's previous life. Morning finally arrived, and Lin Shi tried to wake Lin Xiao up to quickly have breakfast. He was a little worried because Lin Xiao wasn't sleeping very well yesterday, so he didn't have the heart to wake Lin Xiao up. Lin Xiao finally woke up, but he was curious as to why Hong Ye had disappeared again, and wondered if shouldn't newlyweds have a bridal shower. Besides that, he was also curious about what happened to Hong Ye before. He decided if in the future he had the chance, he would ask her. Then he remembered that today was the day he went to Changlan Academy and parted ways with Lin Shi. When Lin Xiao was about to get on the bus to go to the academy, a sad Lin Shi said that she didn't want her brother to leave. Lin Xiao also assured Hong Ye that this didn't mean he wouldn't come back. So while on the trip later, he promised to contact Lin Shi. Lin Xiao was surprised that Lin Shi suddenly became so spoiled. Unfortunately, he didn't know the conditions at Changlan Academy, so he still couldn't bring Lin Shi along. While stroking Lin Shi's head, Lin Xiao assured Lin Shi not to worry because he would come back to see her. Because it was too late, the bus driver told Lin Xiao to quickly get on the bus. Seeing her sister waving her hand while going to board the bus, Lin Shi also waved her hand. Hong Ye thought that Lin Xiao didn't need to visit him because he would go see him on his own. At Changlan Academy, Lin Xiao was impressed because this academy looked luxurious. And most importantly, in this place, there are a lot of beautiful women. However, he thought that beauty could be seen again later. His top priority right now was to report to reception. He was so curious about who would be his teacher. In the academy's entrance hall, someone slammed the table and said that he didn't care and he would get the best recruit. The other teacher who heard that became angry and asked what made him so confident. They then asked the female teacher if she thought she could do anything with her big breasts. The female teacher argued back and said that anyone with breasts could say whatever he wanted. Not far from them, people noticed Lin Xiao's existence. Lin Xiao acted cool and asked if they needed anything. The teachers became excited and intended to get Lin Xiao. They all coaxed Lin Xiao with pills, good teaching, or told him that the class had lots of female trainers. Lin Xiao was in trouble because they fought each other and forced Lin Xiao. Not only that, there are even teachers who try to sabotage each other to the point of making them fight. Lin Xiao, who witnessed this, thought that this academy was strict. A moment later, someone approached and called him. He introduced himself as Tang Ling's teacher and offered Lin Xiao to come to his class. The other teachers who noticed Tang Ling told Lin Xiao to stay away from Tang Ling. But Tang Ling told Lin Xiao not to listen to those who were just a bunch of old cockroaches. Seeing Lin Xiao, who was completely enchanted by him, Tang Ling showed his cleavage and said as long as Lin Xiao considered him as a teacher, then he would let Lin Xiao sleep in the best dormitory, and later he would give Lin Xiao a special advantage. They began to have nosebleeds watching it. But those tutors still didn't want to lose and told Tang Ling to stop talking nonsense. Yet Lin Xiao had already bowed his head and begged Tang Ling to become his disciple. Tang Ling then kissed Lin Xiao's forehead and told Lin Xiao not to disappoint him, because if Lin Xiao embarrassed him, Tang Ling threatened he would drain his entire life. Lin Xiao, who witnessed Tang Ling's fearsome side, trembled in fear. Seeing that Lin Xiao had gotten a teacher, Lin Xiao was annoyed. Lin Xiao finally arrived at his dormitory. The environment in that place was really good. He couldn't believe it. If you use a separate dorm here. Looking at the lawns and grass here, Lin Xiao thought that it would be really nice if there were beauties here. As he was relaxing, suddenly someone waved his hand and called out to Lin Xiao. He introduces himself as Xiang Qian and informs that he is the senior who will be in charge of teaching him. Lin Xiao came to Xiang Qian's courtyard to shake his hand and beg for guidance from him. But Xiang Qian laughed and said that Lin Xiao didn't need to be so formal and offered to call him fat instead. Xiang Qian then put his arm around Lin Xiao's shoulder and asked if Tang Lin's mentor had always been vicious. He also replied that it was very ferocious, like a weapon that killed the earth. He then asked if he was also promised special benefits in the future. Lin Xiao answered yes and asked if something was wrong. Xiang Qian's face immediately looked irritated. He told him that he was also tricked in this way, so he felt a responsibility to tell Tang Lin that he had fooled him. Lin Xiao still didn't understand what he meant and thought that Tang Lin might have some kind of conspiracy. Xiang Qian then says that she won't lie to him and tells Tang Lin's mentor that the other name is the Witch. He didn't want to say more, but Xiang Qian told him the special benefits that Tang Lin promised were really scary. There is such a big chance Lin Xiao won't even get it. Because of that, Xiang Qian warned to be careful not to be toyed with by Tang Lin. Lin Xiao was also surprised to hear that, but in his heart, Lin Xiao was actually looking forward to it after listening to Xiang Qian's words. Lin Xiao confidently convinced Xiang Qian not to worry. Xiang Qian finally left and told Lin Xiao to take care of herself. Elsewhere, Yang Yi reported to his grandfather about Lin Xiao that Tang Lin had received today. He told that Lin Xiao had always been against him and also made him look ridiculous. Because of that, he asked his grandfather to help him. His grandfather also told Yang Yi not to worry and promised Yang Yi that he would help him take care of Lin Xiao. At this time, Lin Xiao was relaxing in the bathtub. He didn't think every dorm had a special bathroom, but suddenly, someone tapped Lin Xiao on the shoulder from behind. Lin Xiao was surprised when he saw Hong Ye, who was suddenly behind him, and asked why he always sneaked out. Hong Ye also told that he actually lived in Lin Xiao's spiritual world. As Lin Xiao looked confused, Hong Ye explained the spiritual world was a soul-created space, which had a combat aura called spiritual power. And he also told that Lin Xiao's spiritual world is really vast and hides a lot of spiritual power. But it was a pity that Lin Xiao's average strength was too weak to make full use of it. Lin Xiao also realized that Hong Ye signed a marriage contract with him and stayed in his spiritual world was for his spiritual power. Hong Ye stroked Lin Xiao's chin and replied that it was true. His spiritual world was corrupted, and he couldn't store much spiritual power in the form of a soul by himself. So after many battles, he needed to replace his spiritual power, and Lin Xiao was his best choice. Hearing that, Lin Xiao also invited Hong Ye to do the bridal shower, and he would channel his spiritual power to Hong Ye. But suddenly, someone knocked on his door. Lin Xiao got annoyed and opened the door, but he saw no one and thought that someone was playing a prank on him. Suddenly, from the tree something jumped and passed Lin Xiao into the house. While chasing the intruder, Lin Xiao also found a yellow-skinned ferret. The yellow weasel didn't expect Lin Xiao to be able to dodge its attack. Besides, he also asked Lin Xiao if he looked like a human or a fairy. Lin Xiao thought that he might be a legendary fox asking for a seal, but this yellow weasel in front of him had already become a soul, so he wondered how he could find someone for a seal. Thinking that Lin Xiao was caught up in his questions, the yellow weasel pounced on Lin Xiao, but he was stopped by Hong Ye's scissors. Lin Xiao was getting annoyed that the yellow weasel was playing a foul game. Hong Ye was then about to kill the yellow weasel, but Lin Xiao called her Miss and stopped him. Hong Ye was so happy because she had been called by Miss and asked what was the matter. With a devilish face, Lin Xiao said that they should seal him as food. Hearing that, even the yellow weasel was taken aback. After the yellow weasel was tied up like a masochist, they asked whether this yellow weasel could be eaten. The yellow weasel shouted at them for trying to eat a fox as cute as him. Hearing the yellow weasel call itself cute, they felt sick to their stomach. Using his crook-like face, Lin Xiao threatened if he doesn't want to become food, then tell him why he attacked him. The yellow weasel refused to tell and would rather die than surrender. Lin Xiao also asked Hong Ye to cook roasted yellow weasel. Hearing that, the yellow weasel immediately panicked and told Yang Guang it was Yang Guang who had sent him to attack Lin Xiao. Hearing Yang Guang's name, Lin Xiao recognized him as the grandfather of Yang Yi, the senior elder of Changlan Academy. Since they intended to kill him, he thought that in the future he should be more careful. A moment later, 3 options appear as tasks from the system. First choice, free the yellow skin and tell the little beast the way out. The second option, kill the yellow skin, then give it to the opponent. And the third option, disguise yourself as a chef and cook yellow skin. Seeing the choices of these options, Lin Xiao thought that the reward for choice 1 was the best, but if he let the yellow weasel go, it would have consequences as well. However, he got an idea and thought that he might be able to do that. He also said that he was generous and started releasing the yellow weasel. He then told the yellow weasel to leave right now. Soon, the system notified that Lin Xiao had completed the mission and obtained a marrow cleansing pill as a reward, which had been stored in the system storage. Lin Xiao was satisfied and thought that he didn't need to be so kind anymore. The yellow weasel was currently feeling moved because he would soon be out of this devil's cave. But Lin Xiao suddenly asked where the yellow mongoose had gone behind him. The yellow weasel trembled in fear as he realized that Lin Xiao had not kept his promise. With an innocent-looking face, Lin Xiao said that he did say he would release the yellow weasel, but it made sense for him to bring him back. From outside the dormitory building, the yellow weasel's loud screams could be heard. The yellow weasel finally fainted from fright. Seeing the yellow weasel, Hong Ye asked whether Lin Xiao intended to eat it, but it seemed that Lin Xiao had other ideas. The next day, the yellow weasel woke up with a dog collar around his neck. He was shocked because he did not believe he would be treated like a dog. Feeling deep suffering, the yellow weasel could only cry and scream for help to someone. In the morning, Lin Xiao woke up from his deep sleep. Last night, after taking the marrow cleansing pill, his entire body had a fever and was in a coma. He thought that Hong Ye seemed to be hugging and guarding him all night. He also thought that having a wife was not a bad thing, and not to mention, he has the right to touch his wife. However, Hong Ye woke up from his sleep. Lin Xiao immediately withdrew his hand and asked what was the matter. Seeing Lin Xiao, Hong Ye also noticed that Lin Xiao had gotten stronger and complimented that he was now more handsome. Hearing the praise, Lin Xiao immediately felt happy and started posing in front of the mirror. But even though Hong Ye didn't know where Lin Xiao got the pill that Lin Xiao used last night, he warned Lin Xiao not to get excited just yet. He was told that the energy level of the marrow cleansing pill that Lin Xiao had eaten was extremely high, but with Lin Xiao's current physical condition, he would not be able to completely absorb it. Hong Ye could help withstand the medicinal power so that Lin Xiao would not suffer too much. In order to completely absorb the energy from the marrow cleansing pill, Lin Xiao had to hone his muscles and bones. Hearing Hong Ye's explanation, Lin Xiao also suggested double training to gain strength together. However, Hong Ye turned his head and asked what he was to Lin Xiao in his eyes. Lin Xiao replied that Hong Ye was his milk tea and said that he wanted to hug Hong Ye in his heart every day. There was no other choice. Hong Ye told how to quickly strengthen the muscles and bones actually by still using external force to hit the body. In short, beaten. The opening ceremony is almost starting, and seen the new students who gathered in the field. At that time, Lin Xiao wondered if he could rely on Hong Ye's methods of getting beaten up. Not far away, Xiang Qian greeted Lin Xiao and asked why she looked so unhappy. Lin Xiao replied that he was not unhappy. He was just a little annoyed that he was too handsome. As Lin Xiao was walking, the other students stared at Lin Xiao and praised how handsome he was. One of them even offered milk for him. Lin Xiao also thanked him and refused because he had already eaten. In his heart, he felt very happy because he had many fans. but he thought that he had to keep rising to become a god they couldn't reach. He then came over to Tang Lin and greeted him. Tang Lin also introduced Lin Xiao to Lin Xiao's seniors in class, Murong Qingyue and Hao Feng. And besides that, there was also Su Zhang, who was previously an examiner in the new student exam. Su Zhang scolded Lin Xiao for being late on his first day at school. Seeing Hong Ye, Lin Xiao also said that it had only been a few days, but Su Zhang's body had become more toned. Su Zhang got annoyed and tried to beat up Lin Xiao, but Lin Xiao was able to dodge Su Zhang's attack easily. Su Zhang became very irritated because none of his attacks hit. Murong Qingyue also told Su Zhang to calm down and said there was a way to get rid of cheap people. Lin Xiao, who was constantly dodging, suddenly bumped into someone's chest. The Tang Lin, who he had just bumped into, praised Lin Xiao because he seemed to have improved. Moreover, Tang Lin had checked Lin Xiao's information, but he didn't think that Lin Xiao's father was Lin Yuan. Hearing that name, Xiang Qian was shocked because Lin Xiao was the son of his idol. They all knew that Lin Yuan was once the strongest spirit medium in Changlan City. They didn't expect Lin Xiao to actually come from a family of powerful people. But Lin Xiao himself didn't think that many people knew his adopted father. On the contrary, he as his son only had some vague memories of him. Chu Junyao, who was watching Lin Xiao, realized that Lin Xiao was stronger than before. He was curious about what Tang Lin, a magical girl from Class 7, had done to make Lin Xiao improve so fast. On the other hand, Yang Yi was very annoyed that his grandfather had already sent the yellow skin soul and it still hadn't returned, but Lin Xiao looked fine. It wasn't long before someone silenced everyone over the loudspeaker. He greeted all the new students and introduced himself as the vice president of Changlan Academy, Xuan Yang. He started his speech and said that he believed they all came to be strong, so in the future Changlan Academy would witness their rise. And now, he would invite some of the best new disciples to come on stage and receive the Changlan Order. When asked by Lin Xiao what the Changlan Order was, Xiang Qian replied that it was a gift given by the academy to the best students. This is a student card for all activities within the academy. It is also a tool room for storing things, which is very useful. He then showed his Changlan Order. Lin Xiao didn't even expect that Xiang Qian was the fat guy who was once the best freshman, and said that one shouldn't judge a book by its cover. Hearing Lin Xiao's words, an offended Xiang Qian asked if Lin Xiao had no manners. Lin Xiao dodged it and said it was a compliment. Not long after, Chu Junyao was called the top freshman of the first class. Hearing Chu Junyao's speech, Lin Xiao thought that he was indeed a master of speech. For the best student of Class 2, Yang Yi was the one chosen. Lin Xiao didn't expect Yang Yi to be selected as the best student because his performance in the second test was so low. He thought that this was very suspicious. Then, Lin Xiao was finally called the best student in Class 7. The system also gave 3 choices. Option 1, speak normally and modestly to get appreciation. Option 2, talk smug and let the whole academy know who's boss. And choice 3, positive energy speech and touch everyone with true feelings. Seeing that there was a charisma bonus as a reward, Lin Xiao thought that it was what made one more popular. He thought he was a humble person, so he should have chosen the first option. But this time, he wanted to be a bright star and get a good shot. So he chose option 3. While showing the Changlan Order he received, he said that he was honored to receive this award, but he didn't feel he deserved it. Chu Junyao, who knew Lin Xiao, was confused about what he was talking about at this time. Lin Xiao then said that he was just a stinking, worthless person with low strength. But even so, the academy gave this award, and he felt that this was the majesty of Changlan Academy. So he thanked those who had accepted him, the academy, and all of them. Hearing Lin Xiao's speech made Chu Junyao wonder if he had misunderstood Lin Xiao and irritated Yang Yi because Lin Xiao stole the spotlight. However, after the system rewarded him with 5 charisma points for his work, Lin Xiao started to smile and said that all the speeches just now were lies. He then insulted everyone here as trash. Everyone who witnessed this was also dumbfounded. Lin Xiao kept on heating up all of them to beat him up. He thought that this way he could hone his muscles and bones. As today's ceremony had already ended, Xuan Yang chased Lin Xiao away and asked the others to leave quietly. But Lin Xiao begged them all to beat him up together. The other students started to surround Lin Xiao and were about to beat up Lin Xiao, but Xiang Qian and Hu Feng stopped them and begged them to forgive Lin Xiao for today. At the two of them stopping their aim, Lin Xiao called them useless fat and empty heads and told them to go home to take care of the pigs. They became very angry and started beating Lin Xiao along with the others. Yang Yi thought that he didn't need to beat up Lin Xiao at this time. Tang Lin, who witnessed this, thought that Lin Xiao was really crazy and was sure that he must be doing this for a reason. Lin Xiao was currently provoking people to beat him up. Hong Ye, who witnessed this, asked why they didn't just go home and continue again tomorrow. But Lin Xiao persisted and acted even more stupid. Passers-by really wanted to punch him, but they were sure that Lin Xiao was really crazy. Lin Xiao felt disappointed because lately it wasn't easy to get beaten up. One of the passers-by who heard Lin Xiao suggested trying to date one of the 4 most popular girls in school, Mo Ching Chung, if he was so brave. Hearing that made Lin Xiao excited again. Since she was the most popular girl, he was sure she would have a lot of male fans, so if he dated her, they would beat him up for sure. Hong Ye was stunned to hear of Lin Xiao's plan. First, Lin Xiao planned to stir up the campus group chat. Hong Ye also restrained himself because Lin Xiao was only acting. It didn't take long for Lin Xiao to find people who were provoked. Many people messaged him and insulted him. Soon, a mob of people was seen running towards Lin Xiao. They really couldn't wait to kill Lin Xiao with his friends. Lin Xiao was very surprised to see the number of people running towards him. Hong Ye, who felt danger, said that he would rather stay in the spirit world. Elsewhere, a girl was looking at her cell phone and was intent on tagging Lin Xiao, because this was the first time anyone dared to show their feelings directly to him. After being beaten by many people, the battered Lin Xiao thought that he had gone too far. But they didn't expect that Lin Xiao would still be able to hold on and was about to teach him more lessons. But Tang Lin came and blocked them. He was very angry because they all had the heart to bully his students. He then shouted at them and told them to disperse within 3 seconds. After they all left, Tang Lin also asked if Lin Xiao wanted to strengthen his body by seeking a fight. But Lin Xiao dodged and asked Tang Lin what was wrong with him. While blowing out the smoke, Tang Lin told him that he had come to tell Lin Xiao that the day after tomorrow, the campus would open a spiritual spring. Lin Xiao didn't really know what Hong Ye meant. Tang Lin then narrated that when the world's spiritual energy had recovered, many miracles appeared on Earth. One of them is a spiritual spring capable of increasing strength. So he advised Lin Xiao to increase his strength in the next 2 days, since the other disciples would also be competing for resources. Besides, this spring was opened for a limited time, and giving this opportunity to Lin Xiao was not easy. So Tang Lin had him thank him. Lin Xiao also thanked Tang Lin and called her the most beautiful woman in the world. Hearing the praise, Tang Lin told Lin Xiao to follow him because he would keep his promise and give Lin Xiao something special. Lin Xiao was instantly tempted, hearing the word special from Tang Lin. He thought that Xiang Qian must be just scaring him. In the afternoon behind the campus, a large rock rolled down quickly. Lin Xiao, who was being chased by the rock, loudly asked if this was something special. Tang Lin, who was relaxing while drinking, encouraged Lin Xiao because if he didn't hurry, he would die. After that, Lin Xiao had to do push-ups with Tang Lin on his back. Lin Xiao wondered whether this was luck for him or suffering. Not far from them, Xiang Tian and Hu Feng were laughing at Lin Xiao. Later practice, Lin Xiao had to sit under a waterfall while being whipped by Tang Lin. After that, Lin Xiao was told to jump off the cliff onto the trampoline. Lin Xiao thought that Tang Lin wanted to make Lin Xiao say goodbye to the world once and for all. He really felt like quitting. Evening finally arrived. Because Tang Lin did not allow Lin Xiao to eat and rest all day, Lin Xiao asked if he was a devil. Hearing the complaints, Tang Lin gave Lin Xiao a few minutes to rest. Tang Lin then said that he wanted to talk about Lin Xiao's father, Lin Yuan. He was sure that even though Lin Xiao was his son, he did not know much about his father's past. Lin Xiao replied that his father rarely told him anything and heard more about him from other people. Hearing Lin Xiao's answer, Tang Lin began to tell how great Lin Xiao's father was. 10 years ago, a horde of monsters attacked the city of Changlan. Those monsters killed many people and occupied the territory of the region. Society is in unknown danger. Lin Xiao's father, Lin Yuan, steps up to lead his own team of edge hunters to protect the city of Changlan. As a member of the edge hunter team, Tang Lin fought alongside him. They protect the people and kill the monsters with their lives. They managed to save everyone. However, their number is very large. There were even S-rank enemies. After a fierce resistance, they finally managed to defeat them. But Lin Yuan and the rest of the team were seriously injured and died. Lin Xiao didn't expect his father to die saving others. Even though he is only a soul passer, he is still proud to have such a father. He came to this world and has lived quietly for some time. But he had almost forgotten that they didn't live in a peaceful society. But they are only born in a peaceful environment. This serenity was the result of the sweat and blood of his father and his predecessors. Her father dies, and her sisters continue their struggle after entering the psychic department. He saves the city and kills ghosts and monsters in secret. Fate allowed him to cross the world, so he feels indebted to himself. For the sake of those closest to him, for the sake of this world, Lin Xiao was determined to become stronger and do something useful. He wanted to protect this world. Thus, he asked Tang Lin to continue his training because he wanted to become strong. Hearing Lin Xiao's determination, Tang Lin ordered him to do another 1,000 push-ups. Somewhere, Yang Guang said that Lin Xiao should be removed. Mu He, an elite second-year batch student who received the assignment, said that he could kill an ordinary freshman in a few seconds. Yang Guang then ordered Mu He to pick up 1,000 spirit stones on the table to finish off Lin Xiao. Mu He also asked Yang Guang not to worry because he has a rank supernatural power, so he was sure he could finish Lin Xiao off. Without taking the 1,000 spirit stones, Mu He said that he would come back to get the 1,000 spirit stones. The next day, Lin Xiao bid farewell to Hong Ye and invited him to make out tonight. 2 days ago, with the help of his wife, Hong Ye, plus Tang Lin's rigorous training, the marrow-cleansing pill was almost completely absorbed. That way the S-level body will be completed. He then saw the yellow weasel, who looked lethargic. Lin Xiao approached him and asked if the bones were not good. The yellow weasel became angry at being treated as a dog and said that even though he was very hungry, he would not eat anything that Lin Xiao gave him. Lin Xiao took out the chicken thigh meat and asked how about it, but the yellow weasel still refused. But even though the yellow weasel refused him, his hands and mouth acted differently. Just as Lin Xiao was about to leave, the yellow weasel warned Lin Xiao to be alert, because he didn't come back. With Yang Guang's disposition, the yellow weasel was certain he would definitely not let this happen, and sent more people to kill him. Lin Xiao also took the warning and called him the Orange, making the yellow weasel irritated. The disciples have now arrived at their today's training ground, the spiritual spring. Lin Xiao didn't expect that there would be a building so close to nature. Tang Lin told everyone that they had 500 spiritual stones stored in their respective Changlan order, and all of them were given free by the college to activate the spring. So he warned them to take good care of him. He then explained that after entering the spiritual spring, throw a spiritual stone into the spring to expel the spiritual energy within. When asked by Lin Xiao what a spiritual stone is, Xiang Qian answered that a spiritual stone is a natural stone that contains spiritual energy, which can be used to recover energy or as currency. The spring door was finally opened. The students rushed to take their places. Su Zhang invites the others to enter. With a bit of teasing, Tang Lin told Lin Xiao to come back early because he would be waiting for him. The stunned Lin Xiao convinced Tang Lin that he would definitely come back. When he went inside, Lin Xiao felt impressed because the scenery was so beautiful. Seeing beautiful girls passing by, Xiang Qian goes to help them find a spring. Lin Xiao was getting irritated because Xiang Qian didn't even tell him which spring was the best. Moreover, he realized that Yang Yi was also here. But since it was not important at the moment, Lin Xiao decided to return to the main topic and tried to search using his instincts. After discovering an extremely large and thick door, Lin Xiao thought that behind this door was a rare spiritual spring. He smiled evilly and kicked the door open. But in this place, there are already 2 women who are bathing in the spring. Witnessing the scene before him, Lin Xiao could only enjoy it and gave a thumbs up. One of the girls noticed that the one who had just barged in was Lin Xiao. Upon hearing that name, Mo Ching-chung was sure that she was the one who had written him that message. Lin Xiao didn't expect that he would meet the campus maiden Mo Ching-cheng. Soon the system gives 3 choices. Option 1, immediately run away. Option 2, jump straight into the pool. And option 3, apologize to both of them. Since it had come to this point, Lin Xiao thought it was useless to explain, so he chose the second option and jumped into the pool of spring water. Lin Xiao was beaten up and knocked out of the room and got 6 psychic fragments as a reward from the system. Witnessing the incident, Mu. He was sure that Lin Xiao was thrown out of Mo Ching-chung's cave and wondered if he had just seen Mo Ching-chung taking a bath. Due to his overflowing jealousy, Mu he vowed to kill Lin Xiao. After a while of searching, Lin Xiao finally found a small spring despite being beaten up. He thought he had at least seen something beautiful, so it was all worth it. After dipping himself into the spring water, he felt that its aura was very calming. Soon he saw Hong Ye appear in front of him. Hong Ye also asked whether he was enough for Lin Xiao and why he was still looking for other women. Lin Xiao stuttered and couldn't answer. Hong Ye was annoyed and bit Lin Xiao's shoulder. He didn't expect that Hong Ye would be that jealous. Suddenly, the cave wall behind Lin Xiao was smashed in by someone. Mu he was furious that Lin Xiao had tarnished Mo Ching-chung. Lin Xiao realized that it was the person who had spoken to Yang Yi just now. With his claws, Mu he lunged to attack Lin Xiao. Lin Xiao was able to dodge the attack, but Mu He's attack caused the floor beneath them to collapse. Lin Xiao was surprised to find that this spiritual spring pool is empty underneath. Lin Xiao managed to reach the floor, but Mu He pulled on Lin Xiao's leg to take Lin Xiao with him. They both fell into the big hole. Worried about Lin Xiao, Hong Ye went after him. Mu He, who was feeling very satisfied, laughed heartily at the thought of successfully completing his mission. After falling, Mu he finally plunged into the water. Realizing that there was water below him, Lin Xiao prepared to dive in. But he was surprised when he found there was land behind the water. Hong Ye also caught Lin Xiao, who was about to fall. However, Mu He, who had no one, could only scream for help and hit the ground with his body. Lin Xiao was truly grateful that his wife was here with him. Seeing this place, Hong Ye didn't expect that there was a small world under this spring. Lin Xiao thought that there might be treasure buried here, so he invited Hong Ye to come down and have a look. Hong Ye also said that he would follow his request. Lin Xiao panicked because he would fall if he let go. After landing, Lin Xiao came over to Mu He. He then checked Mu He's breath and was sure that he was dead. Hong Ye also asked how Lin Xiao felt now. He replied that he did not feel anything. Mu. He failed to hurt others to the point of hurting himself, so he thought that Mu he deserved to die. He then said the only thing he could do was take all of his belongings and let him leave this world without any strings attached. Without thinking, Lin Xiao checked the things that Mu he brought and found some spirit stones. Soon Hong Ye said that he felt the aura of anger here was very strong, and it seemed that there were ghosts and monsters gathering in large numbers around this area. Hearing that, Lin Xiao also asked if they were as beautiful as Hong Ye. Because if he is, that's a good thing for him. Hong Ye also scolded him, who had thoughts everywhere, and told him clearly this was a ghost town. The people living here are definitely evil spirits. Because he was pinched by Hong Ye apologized and promised never to have another beautiful girl. To change the subject, Lin Xiao asked what was the ghost town that Hong Ye had just said. Hong Ye explained the ghost town is a vicious and fatal place occupied by ghosts and monsters, which is a very dangerous place for the weak. Hearing Hong Ye's explanation, Lin Xiao thought that what Hong Ye meant by weaklings was probably him. Suddenly, they heard a voice from near them. Then a ball bounced towards them. A ball that looked like a pokeball rolled towards Lin Xiao's feet. Lin Xiao became curious as to where this ball had come from. Suddenly, two ghosts came to him and they asked Lin Xiao to teach them how to play ball if they don't want to kill them. Lin Xiao was very surprised because the two ghosts appeared suddenly. But a moment later, the system gives 3 choices. Kick the ball back and play well with them, find a way to kill them and go quietly, and provoke the ghosts to get angry and fight them head-on. Since they wanted to play ball, Lin Xiao thought that he would play well with them. He also accepted their invitation to play together. Lin Xiao then took the ball and kicked it so hard that it hit one of the ghosts. Hong Ye also cheered on Lin Xiao and praised his good kick. The only ghost who witnessed it started to cry. Someone got into the ghost town and killed his friend. Lin Xiao was delighted when he saw that the system was giving out rewards from his work. Because the ghost called for help, Hong Ye took Lin Xiao to escape. But Lin Xiao refused because this was what he wanted. Since he was just a little away from absorbing the full power of the marrow cleansing pill, he thought it would be good for him to be wiped out here. The ghost's help had finally arrived. They were very angry because someone was bullying their sister. With his strange pose, Lin Xiao ordered them to beat him up. The ghosts thought that Lin Xiao must be crazy. But because Lin Xiao had killed their younger brother, he invited the others to kill Lin Xiao and eat his meat together. They all ended up running towards Lin Xiao and started beating Lin Xiao. Seeing Hong Ye, they wondered if he had come with Lin Xiao. But because Hong Ye just kept silent, they thought that Hong Ye just wanted to enjoy the show. While being beaten by Lin Xiao, his attitude was very relaxed and provoked them to continue beating him. Since beating Lin Xiao had no effect, they also asked Lin Xiao to eat him alive because they realized that Lin Xiao was a psychic. Lin Xiao panicked because of that. Hong Ye, who was watching, was worried that if this continued, then Lin Xiao would die. So he intends to help. However, soon a light appeared where Lin Xiao was. Lin Xiao Lalu blow them away with her strength. Finally, the S-rank body has been resurrected. Lin Xiao also invited Hong Ye to fight and finish them all off. They then started running towards the ghosts. Hong Ye quickly slashed at the ghosts with his scissors. On the other hand, Lin Xiao was beating up the ghosts that were coming towards him. Hong Ye also congratulated Lin Xiao for successfully awakening his body to rank S. Lin Xiao was happy because he was not in vain killing him earlier. He felt that the S-level body was very good. As he moved, he could feel all of his body's meridians burning like a blazing fire, like a phoenix being reborn. Hong Ye also felt happy because Lin Xiao had improved a lot. But suddenly they felt something. From behind Lin Xiao, suddenly a hand of smoke grabbed Lin Xiao's arm. Hong Ye also asked Lin Xiao to leave immediately because he smelled a B-rank ghost monster or above, most likely a ghost king. He then flew up to send Lin Xiao up first, then back to the spirit world. Upon returning to the surface, he saw Tang Lin and the others waiting for him. Noticing the existence of the ghost beast, Tang Lin pulled Lin Xiao and told him to step back. Then Tang Lin told Xiang Qian to take Lin Xiao outside while he took care of this place. Lin Xiao wondered what kind of terrifying creature it was that made Tang Lin so serious. Lin Xiao and Hong Ye had returned to their homes. Lin Xiao was currently looking at the campus news on his cell about Tang Lin defeating the spring ghost. Apart from that, there was also news that told of Mu He's disappearance. Lin Xiao thought that the ghosts and monsters had eaten Mu He's body. A moment later, he got a message from Xiang Qian. He tells her that because the springs are temporarily closed, the academy has decided to compensate by giving out soul jades to every student who takes part in the activity, and Tang Lin orders them to retrieve them as soon as possible. Lin Xiao became curious about what soul jade was. Hong Ye also explained that the soul jade is the energy core in the bodies of ghosts and monsters, responsible for storing aura, and has a texture similar to jade. That's why it's called soul jade. When ghosts or monsters died, they would drop different soul jades depending on their cultivation level. After ingesting the soul jade, The psychic can gain access to the aura stored within it and sometimes gain some special abilities. Hearing that, Lin Xiao also teased Hong Ye and said that he wanted to feel where his jade hook was. Moreover, Lin Xiao was asking when they were going to have their wedding. But Hong Ye asked him to talk about it later. The yellow weasel felt very disturbed by the behavior of the two of them. Besides that, he was also annoyed because every heart Lin Xiao gave him dog food. Lin Xiao then asked Hong Ye to leave. But before he left, he gave the yellow weasel some chicken soup, much to his surprise, as Lin Xiao usually didn't do good without reason. Lin Xiao also said that the yellow weasel had warned him to be careful with Yang Yi and the others, otherwise he would be dead. Because of that, he was very grateful to her. Hearing that, the yellow weasel felt good and told Lin Xiao to do something for him, but Lin Xiao ignored him and went back to talking to Hong Ye, which annoyed the yellow ferret to be ignored. Still, the yellow weasel thought that Lin Xiao was very different. Yang Guang locked him up like cattle, not infrequently even whipping and forcing the yellow weasels to work for him. Although Lin Xiao's morals were a bit questionable, the yellow weasel thought that Lin Xiao was a good person. But he gets annoyed thinking that he likes the person who locked him up. In the chairman's office, Yang Guang is so annoyed that they failed again and look like idiots. Yang Yi also asked Yang Guang to send someone even stronger to kill Lin Xiao. But Yang Guang said that this could not be done in a hurry. So he asked Yang Yi to be patient because there would be a chance later. During the day, in the treasure house, this is the place to pick up soul jade. And Xiang Qian introduced the grandfather in front of them that he was the guardian of this treasure house. Everyone called him Grandpa Kang. Lin Xiao was about to laugh at his call, but Xiang Qian told Lin Xiao to keep his bearings. Grandfather Kang woke up and glanced at Lin Xiao. Lin Xiao was immediately shocked because he felt pressured, whereas Grandpa Kang just stared at him lazily and Lin Xiao felt the hairs on his neck stand on their own. Grandpa Kang then stood up and started to guide them. Seeing Grandpa Kang, Lin Xiao thought that he had misjudged people. Xiang Qian told him that this is the soul jade storage stone box. The texture is very hard and also added with the sealing aura, very difficult to open with bare hands. Formerly, this object was used to test one's strength. He even told me that he had trouble trying to open it. Grandpa Kang then invited them to start and told them all to find a way to open the box and get the soul jade. Lin Xiao asked Xiang Qian if he knew the best way to do it. Xiang Qian says just force it open. They all tried to open the box by force. Upon opening the box he chose, Xiang Qian was disappointed that he got a bad soul jade. Lin Xiao was shocked because Xiang Qian had already opened it himself. He was so confused to choose which box. He feels like it's like a lottery, and it reminds him of his previous life. Soon the system presented Lin Xiao with a choice. Keep calm and open the box normally. Open the box by smashing it as hard as you can, or pretend to be a beginner and ask for help opening it. Seeing that choice, Lin Xiao thought that the system wanted Lin Xiao to open it violently. Lin Xiao got excited and intended to try out his new physical strength. With his fist, Lin Xiao smashed the box into pieces. The others were shocked to see it. Even Grandpa Kang scolded Lin Xiao for opening the box like this. But Lin Xiao said that Grandfather Kang told them to open the city without telling how to do it, so he immediately hit him with his bare hands. Lin Xiao then started to open other cities, making Grandpa Kang panic. The other students did not want to be left behind and wanted to forcefully open the box too. Even Hu Feng also asked his classmates to take one. Finally, Grandfather Kang stopped Lin Xiao and asked him to follow him. After being brought to a different room, Lin Xiao asked what he had brought her here for. But what else could Grandpa Kang do? Because Lin Xiao kept destroying his boxes and the other students couldn't choose him later. He showed some of the rare soul jades he had collected. Because Lin Xiao was strong enough, he allowed Lin Xiao to take one. Lin Xiao was at a loss to choose because they all looked good. A moment later, he heard Hong Ye's voice calling him. Hong Ye showed a good-looking soul jade and told him that it was the blazing ghost soul jade. He explained that even though it was F level, it contained a very small but rare aura. This soul jade is also able to stimulate the potential so that the user can get the flame system from psychic abilities. Even though Lin Xiao's body had already reached S rank, his psychic ability was still not fully developed and his aura was also lacking, so Hong Ye thought this was the best choice. Seeing that Lin Xiao took the soul jade, Grandpa Kang said that it was a good choice. As he expected, Grandpa Kang thought that Lin Xiao had unique eyesight. Soon, the system notified that the soul jade had been detected and asked if Lin Xiao wanted to absorb its power. Lin Xiao was shocked that he didn't expect the system to be able to absorb soul jade. Since Hong Ye and Grandpa Kang agreed on this soul jade, he thought there was nothing to hesitate about and decided to absorb it. The absorption finally succeeded, and Psychic Chi got the fire attribute. Now the Inferno Fist skill has been unlocked. Lin Xiao was happy because Hong Ye was so thorough. It was thanks to him that he obtained treasures and acquired skills. Grandfather Kang was immediately stunned when he saw Lin Xiao absorbing the soul jade. With the strength of his fire attribute, Lin Xiao could feel his psychic power activating and about to be activated on his left hand. Grandfather Kang, who witnessed this, wondered what happened to Lin Xiao's psychic powers. Now Lin Xiao's psychic powers have evolved, and the system congratulates him on partially unlocking his Qi left arm ability. Lin Xiao also felt so strong that he couldn't help it. Lin Xiao has now finally unlocked the ability on his left hand, even though Qi's ability is still not fully unlocked. He was determined to continue working hard. Grandfather Kang, who witnessed this, thought that Lin Xiao had a bright future. A moment later, Xiang Qian came to tell Lin Xiao to run away because Mo Ching-chung's fans had banded together to catch Lin Xiao. Lin Xiao thought that this was the right time to try out his new power. But he was stopped by Xiang Qian. He warned that they were led by Lu Feng and told him that he was known as the fighting maniac in this campus. Therefore, Xiang Qian asked Lin Xiao to reconsider. But Lin Xiao didn't want to miss this opportunity because he had just gotten a new skill. Outside the building, many people called Lin Xiao to come out. One of them looks really intimidating. He was the Lu Feng we were just talking about. An annoyed Lu Feng shouted for Lin Xiao to come out. His friend thought that Lin Xiao must not dare to come out and had run away. But soon, Lin Xiao showed himself. With his annoying behavior, Lin Xiao asked which son wanted to find his father. Lu Feng, who is fed up with Lin Xiao, says that Lin Xiao must be crazy for confessing his love to the goddess Mo Ching-chung. But Lin Xiao didn't care about bullshit and ordered them to fight immediately. Hearing Lin Xiao's arrogant words made Lu Feng angry and used his Grat ape form to attack Lin Xiao. With his fist, he hit Lin Xiao. Xiang Qian, who witnessed this, was surprised because the attack was very fast. He couldn't even see his movements. He thought that Lin Xiao was in danger, but Lin Xiao was able to catch Lu Feng's fist with his hand. Lu Feng pulled his hand back. Lin Xiao then mocked Lu Feng for not being able to finish it in one fell swoop. Hearing that made Lu Feng even more irritated and called his friend over to bring his cannon. His friend also used his psychic ability, artillery summoning. He then asked Lu Feng to use himself. Lin Xiao and Xiang Qian, who were watching, were stunned and wondered if it was the Yun Long cannon or the Neo Armstrong Cyclone Jet Armstrong cannon. Lin Xiao also ran over to them to take care of them first. Seeing Lin Xiao running towards them, V4 shouted and told Lin Xiao to feel their anger. Lin Xiao then remembered to try his new skill. Using the psychic ability in his right hand, he activated the skill Inferno Fist. At that moment, Lu Feng fired his cannon. There was a big explosion. Even the disciples in the distance could feel it. When they arrived, they were shocked at the devastation it had caused. Lu Feng, who was defeated by Lin Xiao, did not understand how Lin Xiao could suddenly be this strong when he wanted to be beaten in the past. Moreover, Lu Feng noticed that Lin Xiao was deflecting his attack, and thought that Lin Xiao wanted to forgive them for not killing him. But Lin Xiao actually just missed his attack. But he pretended and said that he was giving them a chance to warn Lu Feng not to be a sycophant, because he would get nothing in the end. Xiang Qian approached Lin Xiao and asked what soul jade Lin Xiao had absorbed and whether he had unlocked any powerful skills. Lin Xiao modestly replied that he had only absorbed an ordinary F-rank soul jade and he was still weak. Watching the fight, Grandpa Kang thought that Lin Xiao was indeed a good student. He was sure that Lin Xiao would become a talented person in the future. In front of Lin Xiao's dormitory, Lin Shi had finally arrived. He felt sad because his brother was busy lately. But he thought he was lucky because he found out where his campus was by asking Lin Hua and finally found Lin Xiao's home address. But once again he felt sad because he felt that Lin Xiao was not at home. He decided to wait inside and gave Lin Xiao a surprise. Wang Tai-sin, who was aware of Lin Shi's arrival, came and threatened Lin Shi to leave immediately if she didn't want to be hurt. But he felt something was wrong. He was so annoyed why he became the caretaker of this house. Lin Shi, who witnessed Wang Tai-sin's strange behavior, thought he was a dog and started to rub his head. Because he was called a dog, Wang Tai-sin became angry and threatened Hong Ye to beat him up. But a bear appeared behind Lin Shi and asked if she wanted to fight. Wang Tai-sin became very scared. Feeling its very strong aura, Wang Tai-sin was sure that this bear was the Demon King. To protect himself, Wang Tai-sin immediately acted like a dog. Lin Shi, who thought that Wang Tai-sin was very cute, started stroking his belly. In his heart, Wang Tai-sin hoped someone would help him. In fact, it has arrived. Lin Xiao, who finally arrived home, felt very tired. But he saw that the door of his house was open, making him think a thief had entered. But Hong Ye warned Lin Xiao because he felt a strong, vicious aura. At this time, Lin Shi, who was hiding behind the sofa, intended to make Lin Xiao surprised. Wang Tai-sin thought that Lin Xiao was now finished because there was a sinister demon king in this house. Lin Xiao found it strange that no one was inside. He also thought that he might have forgotten to close the door when he came out this morning. But Hong Ye suddenly warned Lin Xiao. When Lin Xiao looked back, Lin Shi suddenly hugged him. Lin Xiao hugged him and asked him what he was doing here. Lin Shi was cranky because her brother never came back to see her. That's why she came here. But Lin Xiao was currently busy as he wanted to work hard to become stronger in order to protect his sister later. Hong Ye was relieved that Lin Shi was his little sister. Wang Tai-sin was stunned when he found out that the Demon King was Lin Xiao's younger brother. Because Lin Xiao was busy, Lin Shi forgave Lin Xiao. Lin Xiao also thanked him for understanding. After all, Lin Xiao's ultimate goal was to join the Psychic Powers Department and fight together with their big brother in the future. Hong Ye then said that he had good news he wanted to talk about. He then showed a certificate and told me that it was a cooperation certificate. He asked his brother to help him and also the campus to handle it. And now Lin Shi can live here with Lin Xiao. Lin Xiao said that it was very good and he was very happy, but inside he was panicking because this could be the end of his beautiful life with Hong Ye. Even Wang Tai-sin also thought it would be difficult for him in the future. Therefore he intends to escape. But Wang Tai-sin, who was running away, was caught by Lin Shi. Lin Shi, who looked happy, said that Wang Tai-sin was really fun. For some reason, seeing Wang Tai-sin being toyed with made Lin Xiao feel happy. When Wang Tai-sin was choking hard because he was hugged by Lin Shi so hard, Lin Shi asked Lin Xiao if he really lived alone. The house looks very clean, and Lin Xiao lives alone. So Lin Shi felt suspicious. Lin Xiao was panicked because Lin Shi was like a detective. Lin Shi then started interrogating Lin Xiao whether he had any pretty girls and so on. Lin Xiao dodged it and said that he didn't have time with any girls. Hearing that, Lin Shi felt relieved. He said that Lin Xiao shouldn't get involved with other girls because they were terrible. Unlike him, they would only make Lin Xiao sad. Lin Xiao lowered his head as if he had received an order from his boss. Wang Tai-sin, who witnessed this, thought that Lin Shi was very scary and decided to try to stay away from her later. Lin Xiao was confused about what he should do with Hong Ye. On the other hand, Hong Ye thought that his younger sister, Lin Xiao, was very attractive, and he could not wait for their life together in the future. The next morning, Lin Shi cooked them breakfast. When the food was served, Lin Xiao, who saw the food, thought that Lin Shi might be taking revenge on him. Seeing her sister not eating her food, Lin Shi asked why Lin Xiao wasn't eating. Lin Xiao also asked if this could really be eaten. Hearing that question, Lin Shi convinced Lin Xiao that Wang Tai-sin even ate it until there was nothing left. Seeing Wang Tai-sin's condition, Lin Xiao immediately lost his appetite completely. After being asked by his sister to eat it while it was hot, Lin Xiao prepared himself to finish the food quickly. But he didn't expect it to taste really good. The food was so good that he felt like he was being teased by a mermaid. He also praised Lin Shi because the cooking was delicious. Seeing that, Wang Tai-sin thought as he expected, eating this bad only the Demon King's older brother could enjoy it. In the end, Lin Xiao ate and drank enough. While there were no classes today, Lin Xiao decided to look for work. Originally, he only needed to feed his wife Hong Ye and Wang Tai-sin, and now he had to feed Lin Shi too. But now his wallet is empty. It was impossible for him to ask Lin Hua for money because he was the head of the 4 members of the family. But he felt sad to be burdened with this kind of responsibility at his age. Xiang Qian, who noticed Lin Xiao's existence, came up to him and asked if Lin Xiao wanted to come out too. Lin Xiao replied that he wanted to work to make money because he had no classes in the next 2 days. Hearing that, Xiang Qian said that she was currently going to work part-time. Lin Xiao directly begged Xiang Qian to come with him. Xiang Qian agreed because they also happened to be short on people on their team. Lin Xiao got excited by it. They finally arrived at the mercenary hall. Lin Xiao didn't expect that the part-time job that Xiang Qian meant was to become a mercenary. Although Lin Xiao knew of the existence of the mercenary alliance, he still didn't quite understand it. But after he took a look, he didn't expect that there were so many people working as mercenaries. Xiang Qian also explained that each city has its own mercenary alliance. Then there is also such a thing as a gift alliance. In the middle of the mercenary hall, there will be a mission board. There will be displayed daily missions sent by the monster department and other high lords. The prizes are different, but the value is still great. They finally arrived at the mission board. Xiang Qian told them that they had more time to go home from college, and following the mercenaries to earn money had been allowed by the campus in secret. There are even campuses that act as intermediaries for students to introduce things about mercenaries. In the middle of his explanation, Xiang Qian was surprised to see Lin Xiao, who didn't listen to what he said. Lin Xiao was overjoyed to see that his mission reward was so great. He laughs and thinks he will become a billionaire for sure. The people who saw Lin Xiao's behavior became very irritated and wondered if he had come here looking for trouble. Lin Xiao then began to fantasize and worry that he would become naughty and get drunk after becoming rich. He was sure Hong Ye would kill him. At the same time, since there was no news from Lin Xiao, Hong Ye was sure that Lin Xiao must be thinking bad thoughts. After a while, Lin Xiao was summoned by Xiang Qian to meet his team. Before meeting them, Xiang Qian warned whether or not Lin Xiao would join would depend on Lin Xiao's performance this time. He then pointed in the direction where they were. Seeing that crowd of people, Lin Xiao didn't expect that this team was popular enough to have fans. After making their way through the crowd, they arrived at the gathering place of his team, the Shogun Blade team. Xiang Qian then introduced Lin Xiao to the chairman and told him that Lin Xiao wanted to join his team. Hearing Lin Xiao's name, the blue-haired man felt that he had heard of it before. Lin Xiao also greeted them. Then the leader of this team, Chu Ti, extended his fists for a handshake and introduced himself.